Hello friends, today we will have an excellent combination of indicators that will help you in both the regular market and the OTC market. I find this method to be a very simple and effective. So it's time to start and see how it works. Just before I move on to explaining a particular method, I want to withdraw 5,100 and leave only $10 for trading. So let's see what comes out. I have tested this method many times, and based on my personal experience, I will also set indicators. So it has been set. Go to the real account. Let's start with the main stage of what and how I put it. First, I have to set one of the main and amazing indicators, Vortex. It is unique in this method and a lot of depends on it. I changed the period to 10, thicken the lines for more simplicity. So the second indicator is the better known MACD. I will not change anything, leave as is. I only thicken lines. As for the candles, they should be set for 15 seconds and should be traded at 1 minute intervals, as these are the most effective positions in this method. Now let's set a high percentage of currency pairs. The higher the percentage of couples you choose, the greater the profit for you and the more money you can earn in a very small trade. So look closely at these currency pairs. So guys, I think this is a wonderful moment just to look at both lines of Vortex intersecting and the lines of MACD also intersecting each other. Be sure to note that if you place it above, both lines of MACD should intersect and should point upwards. They also need to be below the MACD candles and perform all of that there. Otherwise, if you enter the trade, you have very less chance of winning. But this is not the only good moment of this method. As you can see, I'm going to win. And in the following moment, I will try to open a position for other good moments as well. Great, great, great. It was a wonderful profit, but I want to tell you that I don't like market movement today. It's very active and dangerous to trade in such moments. As for the present moment, it's almost the same moment as it was the previous one. So I will come back to you soon to see the next good moment, because I want to explain this strategy to you in more depth. We won, but it was not so convincing. I expected more candles to go upwards. As I said today, the market is not good and it's difficult to trade. Such a moment is not good for entering the trade, unlike the previous moments, but for some reason, from my personal analysis and based on the fact that the lines of both indicators intersect at the same time, with MACD candles already starting to correct from the bottom up, I decided to rely on the uptrend. Therefore, I think I cannot keep the candles moving so steadily, but I won. And now I find a good moment in which you can enter the trade boldly, because I want to show you other good moments, because I think this is one of the best methods. So I could not bet on exactly the time I wanted to. The candle fell too much, but I think the candles will go further down because the trend has been like this for a long time. According to this method, when the MACD has been on a downward trend for a long time and at the same time its candles start to go down, at this point the method really works. great, and as you can see we almost lost, but I think again for the reason I told you, these candles will go down and I put all my money down. Such a moment can happen very rarely. So my analysis was justified and the candles went down. I like such a moment very much. So to say this is the high point of this method, when the three indicators are collaborating with each other, vortex lines intersect, MACD lines also intersect, and have a direction above. At the same time, MACD candles are just starting to move up. This is the reason for me to enter the trade in such situations. And as you can see, the candles are going up. Great, it's wonderful. I won, and let's see the next moment. So what's happening here? So I saw a good moment here too. It just makes almost the same sense at this moment as it was in the previous moment. One difference is that the MACD lines intersect its candles in the upward direction, and at this time the vortex lines intersect with each other, which is also a signal that the candles will go above. So let's see what will happen. I won here too, but today is not a good market, as I told you from the beginning. Otherwise, this method is much more effective and much more can be earned. Just it's not a good market today. Here I found a wonderful moment too, and the advantage of this method moment is that the indicators and candles are clearly in a downward position. MACD candles are also in an ideal position when all goes well. For example, the MACD indicator gives you a signal, also the trend goes as usual, and the vortex lines don't intersect, then don't enter the trade in such moments, because this is one of the main thing of this method. I will try to win as much as I can today, if I can, and show you the effectiveness of this method. It's exactly the same moment as it was the previous moment, and I bet $800. We did not lose, but we could not win either. I got my money back, but I still think the trend will go down. Everything points to that, and I put $800 down again. Remember, if you lose once and if you lose again, don't be stubborn to the market, because in some cases the market is going in at least one direction, and in that case none of the strategies work. So in this case you need to switch to another currency pairs and continue trading there. So I think it's the best solution. Great, another win. It's wonderful. Let's look at other currency pairs. Observe each moment. Sometimes it takes a few seconds to wait, and then you have to enter the trade. So guys, I think this is a good moment. A downward trend is starting with both vortex lines intersecting each other. The MACD lines also intersect, and its candles have a downward trend starting at 1.9. Note that the MACD lines, after crossing each other, join the candles and have a downward direction, which is the main thing, I think. So I lost 474 and I got 1000 back because it stopped right where I bet. This is a really good moment. I just was not lucky here, and I will still bet 5,000 because candles will most likely go down. There are times like this when one candle spoils everything, but if you have an analysis, you can still follow your trend. As in this case, it is the best moment in this method. As you can see, the candles are going down, as I said. And it's wonderful. I won. Despite the loss, I'm still in the win. So I think I need one more moment or couple ones. So I saw a very good moment again and again. MACD lines are now starting to cross. Also the vortex lines have crossed already. And most of what made me decide to bet here are the very strong sales at the last hour rate and continue the trend as it seems. The signal of the indicators is as follows. Just put all the money and let's see what will happen. The sales trend continued very convincingly, but now let's move on to another currency pair. I think the ideal moment it is. You probably already realized that what a wonderful moment and ideal position it is. At this time you can wait for the red candle and then enter the trade. You will have more advantages. I think it's up to you to decide what approach you take. Every trader has his own style of trading. As you can see, the strategy really works perfectly despite the fact that the market is not good today. When the market is more stable and calm, this strategy will show you very cool results, guys. Or you can have this method, and if you use it correctly, you will have a great result. Wonderful big win. One more moment and I will exceed $5,000. It's a good moment. And I bet 3,000 here. This moment is different in that the MACD lines intersect in its own candles and go down. Also, don't forget that vortex lines should intersect and should be downward trend or at least medium trend. In this case, you can bet below. Great! Finished with an excellent win. I exceeded $5,000. Good luck to you as well. And a lot of profits. Don't forget to like the videos. Also subscribe to my Telegram channel. So see you in the next video, guys. Thank you.